Are you ready to get clocked? Hi, it's Clocky, and welcome back to my full, official review of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I slept on it, I rested, and now we're ready to do the full, in-depth review of my viewing of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you have not finished reading the book, have not seen the movie yet, and don't want any spoilers, this is not the video for you. I have a spoiler-free 3-minute blind reaction to me seeing the video. I'll pop it on screen right now. You can go ahead and watch that one. There's no spoilers in that one, just me talking about how I liked it or didn't like it. Check it out. But if you don't care about a little bit of spoilers, if you know about the Hunger Games universe, and you want to hear what I have to say about the scenes, the characters, the actors, the costume design, buckle up, because we're going to find out. First, let's start with this. I did, obviously, get my hands on the special edition collaboration with Cinemark and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm actually really excited about these, not just because I love Hunger Games, but the fact that the cup design is on the inside plastic, so it's double-layered plastic, so it can't be easily washed off. It is hand wash, but it is on the inside, so it's less likely to lose the design, which is really cool. I do love the golden top, and it's just probably going to be my favorite cup, and I'm going to use it all the time now. The popcorn bucket is embossed, so it's got the detailing, and you can... Got that ASMR. Oh, and did you hear that? It's metal. This is a metal popcorn bucket. So it was $15 for this and $15 for that. And you get popcorn and a drink with it. So pretty much the cost of normal popcorn and soda. But I'm super excited. I think this design is beautiful. The embossing is beautiful. And the fact that it's metal. And it's a really, really nice keepsake for the universe that I absolutely adore and love. And I was really excited to get my hands on these. Now on to the movie itself. Personally, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. The casting was phenomenal. Tigress was phenomenal. Snow, phenomenal. Mr. Corio, I applaud you. Rachel for Lucy Gray was phenomenal. Viola Davis for Gaul, phenomenal. Everybody was so good. Sejanus was great. I really liked the casting that they did. I didn't have any doubts when I first saw the casting, but I was just really excited, and because I hold Hunger Games near and dear to my heart, I just really was hoping that it would live up to the other movies, and it does. It definitely does. Obviously, when you go to see a movie translated from a book, there's going to be scenes cut out, there's going to be details not fully explained, and you're going to have to piece things together. From the things that they did manage to cut out, they kept the story very clean. It's very easy to understand. It's flawlessly done. If you want more background characters, information, obviously you always go to the book for that, but I think they told the main character story phenomenally. And if you do not know what the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is, and you're just like, hey, why is there a new Hunger Games movie? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is the prequel to Katniss Everdeen's Hunger Games. This takes place 65 years before Katniss Everdeen's Hunger Game Reaping. 64 years before. This occurs during the 10th annual Hunger Games, when the Hunger Games weren't a spectacle yet. They were still considered a punishment. There wasn't anything entertaining about them. People weren't watching them. This is the story about how the Hunger Games became a betting pool, why they have tribute parades, why are there makeup artists, how do they get sponsors. Everything comes out of this book, and it is all due to Coriolanus Snow. This is before he becomes president now. This is the origin story of how you see him fall from grace to become the ruthless monster that he is. Coriolanus Snow, in the beginning, is honestly just an innocent bystander of war. He's innocent. He saves his food to make sure his grandmam can eat. He makes sure Tigress's career is getting funded, and he makes sure everyone else around him is happier before he is. He starves himself. He goes to class. He works really hard to get a scholarship in order to stay in school and become part of the government and help pay for his family. His class gets selected to become the first mentors of the Hunger Games. The mentorship is what causes Coriolanus' sanity to kind of snap, and you see it happen throughout the movie, and I think the actor did a phenomenal job, as the movie is split into 3 parts. And each part, you see him progressively go down a darker path until the end scenes where he snaps and he's screaming and he's completely and utterly insane. He starts poisoning people that we know that is Coriolanus' number one way of killing. And you really watch him fall from grace. And yes, there's a lot of spectacle online. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was rooting for Coriolanus even though I know he kills Finnick in the end. And he's meant to be charismatic. He's meant to be good looking. He's meant to influence you to want to be on his side, to believe him. And I think the actor does a really good job of getting your attention and making you fall for him, even though you know he is a monster. He is a snake under all of that skin. And I really, really love the way Lucy Gray was portrayed. Her songs were phenomenal. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I didn't expect her to be singing in a Hunger Games movie. Lucy Gray is a descendant. Well, Katniss is a descendant. Lucy Gray is related to, unconfirmed how, Katniss Everdeen. And the reason Katniss Everdeen has the songs that she does when she sings to Little Baby Rue and when she sings The Hanging Tree are all due to the Covey. The Covey are not District 12. They were a roaming band that ended up in District 12 when they were performing and got stuck there during the lockdown and became part of District 12. Katniss Everdeen is a descendant of that in a sense. We don't know exactly who is the descendant from, but it is suspected that Maud Ivory is the one who got married, had children, and fell down the line, and the songs got passed down that way. And that's why Katniss knows the songs, because they come from her generation line. And I think that Lucy Gray and the actor they chose and the designs they chose and the famous bow and the personality, the Mockingjay, the Jabberjay, the Hanging Tree, the fact that she wrote The Hanging Tree is all so phenomenally done, and the connections are very easy to see. When she mentions the name Katniss, and then he remembers it, 64 years later. The reason why he hates her so instinctively is he recognizes her as Lucy Gray, and he knows exactly where that name came from. He knows exactly where the Mockingjay comes from. He knows exactly where those songs come from. And that is why Katniss's Hunger Games are so much more tragic once you know the real story, and they tell it so beautifully well. I have no complaints about part 1. It was informational. It was great. It built up everything. Coriolanus and Lucy had such great chemistry. The actors just made it and sold it to a T. Part 2, The Gangs, was horrible in a great way. It was gory, it was dark, it was fucked up. They spared no expense when it came to the murder of the tributes in the arena, the murder of the mentors. They really didn't hide anything that they did in the books. None of the mercy killings, none of the poison, none of the snake bites. The rabies, everything. Everything was really well done, and it shows and reminds you on the fact that they're not games. They're really, really terrible and disgusting and horrible things, and it was hard to watch, which is exactly what it's supposed to be. And I think they did a phenomenal job with the arena. It was exactly as how I imagined it in the book, and it was beautifully done. Choreo and Sejanus in the arena were great. They did their parts phenomenally. Apparently Nines thinks so too. The only thing I started to get nervous about with the filming of the movie was when they did get to part 3 and he was in the district. That was the section that they did start skipping a little bit more information. And I understand why. They told the story really well, but they did skip out, on some of Choreo's peacekeeping training, some of the bonding between Sejanus and him and his peacekeeping company. There was more times where he spent with Lucy Gray. They went and met their family at their home. They spent more time in the meadow. They had picnics. They did a lot more together. And I know that they couldn't do all of that because it would kind of slow down the pace of the movie a little bit. And there was a little bit more building of Sejanus and the revolution. But I think they told the story really, really well the way that they did it. The only thing I do wish they didn't do so quickly was the hanging tree itself was a little bit earlier than I expected it to be. I wasn't prepared for it to be the first goddamn scene, but it was. I was thinking it would be a little bit later so it would have more of an impact. Still had an incredible impact. Every scene at the hanging tree with the repeating of the Jabberjays and the writing of the song, Are you coming to the tree? A dead man called out for his love to flee. Where a dead man is hung for the murder of 3, and he calls out for Lil to run. And the mockingjays and jabberjays are screaming, Run, Lil, run, run, Lil, run, as he dies. And those are the exact words written into the song. And it's heartbreaking and tragic. And then the hanging of Sejanus and the other revolutionaries was hard to watch in the best way. Done phenomenally well. Choreo snapping in the woods with Lucy when they run away really got me freaked out. You really see Coriolanus become President Snow and fall from grace, and everything from that point on is so dark. He just starts to kill for power. You watch as Tigress no longer trusts him. She's like, I've seen it. It's gone. Here now, the spitting image of your dad. And it's great. I think they did a phenomenal job. I have no complaints. It is the perfect prequel to Katniss' story. And I think the movies blend very well. Everything is done so well. And just all around great performance by the actors. Sold it through and through. Costume design, amazing. They did Lucy's rainbow dress beautifully. The arena was beautiful. The Capitol was beautiful. District 12, and beautiful. And, the hanging tree, disturbingly beautiful. Everything. So great. Even the little moments of when they were happy, you really get sold on the moments they're falling in love. And you get really sold on the moments when the love isn't what you think it is. And I'm a fan. Well done. Great movie. I can't wait to buy it myself and then do a full binge of all 5 movies all the time. Because that's going to be my favorite pastime, is watching the Hunger Games movies. And now I get to start all the way over from the beginning. And I can't wait to watch it again. So I'm very sad that this is the last installment of the Hunger Games, unless Suzanne Collins ever gets bored and really decides to write a novel, even if it's just a short one, on Haymitch Abernathy's victory. Please, we're all begging you for us to tell us the story of Haymitch Abernathy, his tribute games, his fall. Please, please. Or even just like a collection of short stories where it's Haymitches and Phoenix. Like, tell us more, please. We want more. We do. Tell us about the first tribute. I want to know. I want more. But I'm sure this is probably the last installment, and it was a great one. You guys better go see it in theaters right now. October 2023. If it's way past this date, make sure you check it out on whatever streaming service it's on. Give it all the love it deserves. I'll see you next time. But for the Hunger Games, I guess, for now, I'm clocking out. Bye-bye.